Namaskar. Hello, friends. Yesterday, we talked about how mind is normally completely rooted in worldly concerns of our body and ego, and how it constantly keeps judging, making comparisons, and slotting sense and ego experiences into good, bad, or indifferent. Can we stop these constant comparisons with others and with our own different states at different points in time? If we can do that, we will be able to handle our present much better. In the same manner, what actions we perform in a visible way is by itself not important. What is important is our state of mind while performing an action. For example, I may seem to be enjoying good food in a classy restaurant, but in my mind, I am thinking that I did not need this good food. I am here only because my family wanted it. Then the good food does not cause me to feel good. Yes, it may please my taste sense in my brain at the moment of eating, but nothing more than that. The reverse is also equally true. I may be eating a tasteless preparation, and my mind thinks that the taste does not matter. The food is simply for sustenance of my body. Then I do not feel bad about having to eat that tasteless food. A prism splits white light into seven different colors. Whether we see a white light or seven different colors depends upon which side of the prism we are on. The role of our mind is like that of a prism. It takes an event and refracts it in a way that causes us to judge it as good, bad, or indifferent. If we are seeing everything through the prism of our conditioned mind, we will experience all the dualities and the ups and downs. But if we remove the prism of our mind, then there will be only a white light, a singularity that is beyond all the duality of the physical world. That is bliss. Mind likes to hop and skip between past and present. The bodily desire driven life that we live constantly keeps our mind engaged in thoughts of doing something or the other, not just action in the present moment, but also that in future. We even spend a lot of time analyzing our past actions and what was wrong or right with them. In fact, if we analyze our own thoughts, we will find that thoughts about future action and its possible outcome engage us for a major amount of our waking time. This is natural because bodily desires can be fulfilled only by bodily actions. But it is important to understand that most of our thoughts about past actions are wasteful, except to the extent they are towards an analysis as a means of a guide to future actions. However, if we observe our thinking closely, we will find that we tend to repeat even this kind of analysis many times over, while analysis done once should be enough. Something similar is true with our thoughts about future too. We have a desire that we want to fulfill, so we start thinking what should be done, when, how, etc. Again, such thoughts may be necessary to the extent that they pertain to plan of action. But more often than not, such thinking goes way beyond what a reasonable planning process would require. We do not realize that many of our thoughts about our possible future actions are unnecessary as they amount to trying to cross the bridge even before reaching it. So, if we want to free our mind of a lot of unnecessary chattering, we should be alert as to when our thinking is overreaching itself. The moment we become conscious of such a situation, we should tell ourselves that it serves no useful purpose whatsoever thinking about such an action at this point in time. So let me just slot it away for an appropriate future point in time. The same way, we should be conscious of our thoughts about past analysis. The sooner we realize that we are overdoing the past analysis, the better it is, and then we should stop it immediately. Also, much of our thoughts about past actions are in the nature of crying over spilled milk. While it may be useful to analyze what actions or lack of actions led to the spilling of milk, it serves no purpose representing, sorry, it serves no purpose repenting the fact since it has already happened. So it is useful, first and foremost, to tell ourselves that milk has already been spilled and I have no problem in accepting that fact. The only thing I will try to understand is what led to it so that it helps me avoid spilling milk in future in similar circumstances. If we can inculcate this practice of observing our own thoughts carefully rather than letting them have a free rein, we will be able to quieten our mind quite a lot by reducing the unnecessary chatter that our mind constantly engages in. In other words, we should learn to live in the present. Conditioned mind is like a tree parasite. We know a parasite that grows on a tree. The parasite feeds on the life sustaining fluids flowing through the tree. Can you imagine a parasite developing likes and dislikes for these fluids? Can a parasite say, for example, that it does not like the phosphorus in these fluids and it would rather have potassium or nitrogen? Our mind is somewhat like a tree parasite. It grows and feeds on the life sustaining Brahman, which is the singular entity or phenomenon that is supposed to be underlying the entire physical creation and its myriad manifestations in this duality based world. But it differs from a tree parasite in a crucial way. It has strong likes and dislikes, but we should be fully aware that the mind's likes and dislikes do not make any difference to the Brahman. The Brahman is getting its desire of enjoying the duality fulfilled so that the higher purpose behind this life is always fulfilled, irrespective of what turmoils our mind goes through. A spiritually enlightened person understands this and remains unaffected by the ups and downs of his mind by being in a higher state of consciousness where he is only an observer. We will stop here. Thank you. I'll see you the next time. Until then, bye.